Hello and welcome back to another episode of Lone Chimp attempts to grow spiritually in wisdom. Today's episode is going to be on the subject of Lenten fasting and how it relates to wanting to keep up your spiritual and physical health. So, to add some context here, last year was my first Lent, and what I had decided on committing to for my fast, in many conversations with my spiritual father, was to switch from my rather lavish diet of wholesome foods, beef, eggs, steaks, those sorts of things, and just reduce it all to chicken and rice, which after Lent then became my normal diet every single day. Lunch, dinner, chicken and rice with some cottage cheese on toast. This was for a few different reasons. One being I had enmity towards the vegan diet. I saw it as something soy boys ate, and I had all these judgments relating to veganism as a whole. Even though the Orthodox fast isn't strictly vegan, it's just no animal products from an animal with a backbone. So it's essentially vegan. Just for ease of conversation, going to refer to it as vegan. But also because I train. I train in the gym every day except Sunday. I like to be physically strong. I like to be active. I like to be healthy. Part of that is nutrition. Having to hit certain protein goals, certain calorie goals. There's a lot that goes into wanting to achieve physical health. And that was another reason I wanted to keep the chicken and the meat, was for that reason. Now, this is my second Lent. Since then, I have grown a lot spiritually. Glory be to God. And as a result of this, I've decided to commit to the vegan fast for Lent as prescribed by the church. And I mean this not as a virtue signal before all those coming in say, you shouldn't talk about your fast, man. It's between you and God. Yeah, well, if we kept everything to ourselves, no wisdom would be shared. So shut up and listen. And my first initial worry was exactly what I just spoke about. Where are my gains going to go? What about my protein? What about my calories? Oh no, I'm going to have to eat chickpeas all day, every day. And this led to a lot of inner turmoil, which kind of led me down the road of doing a lot of research on different protein sources that were vegan friendly that I could use to supplement the chicken I had grown ever so close to consuming. This led to me finding a protein source made of pure gluten, which is named seitan. Yes, funny name. I've already rinsed the joke a lot, so I'm not going to do so in this video. I found it was 90% protein, and this was my saving grace. Oh yes, all my protein worries are done. I made a whole bunch of loaves, froze some, cooked some. I was eating about 500 grams a day for the first... Well, it was the first week of Lent. This was through Cheese Fair. So once we'd given up meat, throughout the whole of Cheese Fair, I just ate seitan, about 500 grams a day. Don't do that. Don't do that. I had a terrible headache, brain fog, inflammation of my joints, inability to focus and concentrate. I attribute it all to the seitan. The name is befitting the effects. It truly is the devil's grain. Can it be used as a small boost? Potentially. Should it be eaten in large quantities? Absolutely not. Anyway, I made a video about seitan in hopes that I could help other people boost their protein during Lent. And it actually went semi-viral. It was one of the, if not the most viewed video I have on Instagram because of the obvious joke, which I swore that I wouldn't say in this video, and I'm going to hold myself to that. But what I found on that video was that I was inundated with comments from people saying, you need to let go of your worldly concerns, stop caring about your body, stop caring about your strength, all along that line of you're focusing too much on protein and missing the point of Lent. I was triggered, to say the least. I was reading these comments like, these Pharisees telling me how to fast. Who did they think they are? I talked to my spiritual father and this is the conclusion we came to, and blah, 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 blah. Well, it turns out they were right. as much as I hate to admit that, and know that their intention was probably of a Pharisaic nature, but that doesn't mean there wasn't truth in the notions they were trying to get across. I really started to focus and reflect on this spiritually. Like, I'm really putting myself through agony here, this brain fog, these headaches, to eat this stupid bread that's for what? To hit a protein goal, to hit a calorie goal, so I can remain strong. Like, once I put it into perspective like that, it made no sense. Not the least because Lent is intentionally supposed to be about sacrifice, not self deprivation. There's a difference there. Self deprivation being to intentionally put yourself in a deficit for the sake of suffering, I guess. Whereas sacrifice is to give up something that you deem more important than what it is that you should actually deem as important. In this case, giving up my nutritional concerns to get closer to God. That's ultimately what it boiled down to. If I could just let go of the fact that I need to hit 200 grams of protein a day and I need to hit 2,700 calories a day, then I would really be eliminating one of my main sources of worldly concern. Now, this didn't come without its obstacles. What's going to happen to my strength? What's going to happen to how I look and how I feel, my energy levels, and all these concerns arose. And over the last couple of weeks, I've wrestled with them, come to terms with them, and they no longer bother me, frankly. And glory to God for that. He really helped me to see the bigger picture in what Lent is about. I still heavily recommend the book Great Lent by Father Alexander Schmemann for anyone at any point in their spiritual journey that just wants a bit more information as to what it is we're expected to do during Lent. I understood that I was disregarding the spiritual element to Lent, and I was seeing it just as a fast, just as a deprivation of food or a limiting of a diet, as opposed to a journey towards Pascha, one which we're intentionally supposed to let go of the world and temptation in order to walk alongside Christ with our crosses in hand, on shoulder, next to Christ himself as he endures the same temptation and shows us how it's done. It was hard. It was hard. I'm not going to lie. I even bought some pea protein powder to supplement my protein with because I still had some concerns. The point of this wasn't to completely get myself to a state of malnourishment where I'm struggling to get up and walk around and train. I just wanted to let go of having to adhere to such an arbitrary concern in the form of a protein goal or a calorie goal. I'm still training. In fact, I've actually been increasing in strength and endurance. So, hey, I can't tell you why. I think Big G knows why. But it's been so liberating to not have to worry about such stupid goals. I can eat whatever I want, in reason, within the fast. I've been buying bulk ingredients to use in vegan recipes: chickpeas, kidney beans, lentils, quinoa, peppers, mushrooms, all these different ingredients, and just thinking, okay, what can I make with this? And I've really made it a mission of mine during this fast to get back in the kitchen, get back cooking. I absolutely love cooking. But switching my diet back to chicken and rice, just boiling rice and microwaving chicken, I lost that love. I lost that passion I had for cooking. Because cooking is creation. You're taking chaos, ingredients, multiplicity, bringing it all together, creating something wondrous, beautiful, good. And it's an act of co-creation with God when done so in a prayerful manner. Right? I'm sat there, I got some chants on, or I've got some classical music playing. I'm cutting mushrooms, cutting onions. I'm having a good time. I'm vibing out in the kitchen. And the result of it is that I've got 3 or 4 days worth of a mushroom soup or some sort of curry or a chili that is not only nutritious to a degree, but bloody well lovely, if I do say so myself. And all this together has really helped me come to terms with what Lent is about. It's not about dogmatically following a set of instructions. It's not about placing yourself in purposeful suffering so you can complain to everyone how hard your life is. It's about the sacrificing of things, but also the bringing in of things that you once loved but no longer do. Providing they're healthy and good. Acts of co-creation are the pinnacle of that. You used to play an instrument, but you don't do it anymore. Co-create, man. Get your guitar back out and start strumming away. Don't cook. Get back in the kitchen. Spend that time. It really helps you to grow in your gratitude. And it's helped me learn the importance of the immersion into the church life. That's really important. The participation in the church life. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to die because I'm hitting less protein than usual. Am I supplementing a bit? Yes. I do have some pea protein that I'll use now and then if I really feel like I've not gotten any protein for that day whatsoever. If I'm in a rush, I'll just tend to cook some beans and rice. And I think, okay, it's only about like 30, 40 grams. I could use a little boost there just so I'm not at a deficit and sort of malnourishing myself, because that can happen. But I'm not trying so hard to hit a goal and worry so much about what I'm going to lose by doing this. It's more of just like an as and when I've got the time and I feel like it. But for the most part, I actually bought the protein so that I could still hit that goal, but I've just not really used it. It's been 2 or so weeks now, and it's only been a couple of days, handful of days, where I've really consumed some of it. For the most part, I've just let it go. I'm happy with my beans and rice or whatever it is that I eat that day. And like I said, my lifts are going up. I'm getting stronger. I feel healthier. I've got more endurance. And I don't think that's anything to do with the physical nature of the fast. I believe it's to do with the spiritual nature of the fast and the increase in communion that I've had with God as a result of this immersion and these revelations and these lessons that I've learned over this time. So this is why I wanted to put this video out, because I know there's probably a lot of you like me that are worried about losing their gains. And if you continue to hit nutritional goals or whatever, I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to condemn you. I can only talk about my experience, what I've learned, and what I feel is right for me. But hopefully, at the very least, this has you questioning your intentions and being honest with yourself, because that's extremely important. But I hope you're all enjoying this Lent, regardless of what your personal fast is. I know I'm enjoying it. I didn't think I would, but it's a joyous struggle. It is a joyous struggle, one that I'm happy and blessed to be a part of. My level of gratitude has grown exponentially throughout this period, because do I want a fat steak and eggs? Yes. But I know putting myself through this, that first taste, it's gonna be so good, man. It's gonna be so good. But that's not the reason why. It's just a byproduct. Gratitude, love, faith, hope, worship. Great Lent, Coach Chinggis, Chimp in Training, signing out. God bless.